Sometimes the best way to get good at manifesting something big is by practicing shifting your reality around you in small ways. So, here are a few ways that I've been doing this for years, and some that are a little newer that I've recently started incorporating or reincorporating. So, I'll start light with something that's pretty common that a lot of people do on the internet now, which is always finding a parking space. This is something that in the grand scheme of things can make your life easier, but it's not that big of a thing. You know what I mean? Like manifesting a parking space really close to the door, yes, amazing, but it's not life changing. It's not $2 million. It is something that realistically, even if you didn't manifest it, you could, in theory, still come across it, right? It's something that you're likely to see, even if it's not common. Now, the reason this is a good one is because it gives you just an easy win, an easy practice. And the more that you're seeing this success and this manifestation of, I always have a great parking spot. I always get a parking spot right by the front. The more times that comes true, the more proof you've given yourself, your nervous system, your brain, that those manifestations work. Something that I've been reincorporating is not getting eggshells when I'm cracking eggs. I know this is, again, not something that's super, super difficult, super, super big, but for me, it actually does have a relatively big impact on my life. Being neurospicy and having a lot of sensory issues, a tiny piece of eggshell in my food when I'm eating, it turns me off the whole food and I will not eat another bite. I don't like that I'm like that, but I work with it, not against it. So for the longest time, I was really good at never getting eggshells in my food when I'm cracking eggs. And then we moved to where we are now and started getting duck eggs. And I don't know if you've had duck eggs, but the shells are a lot harder. And I found myself thinking every single time I went to crack one, man, these shells are a lot harder. Like I always get eggshells in my eggs now, and I hate it. I have to like figure it out. And so I was like, wait, I never used to. Like, why am I doing it all of a sudden? It's probably because I'm telling myself I do. So in that moment when I had that thought, I was like, no, I'm just gonna change this and make my external reality match my internal one, which is I don't get eggshells in my food. So now anytime I'm going to crack one of these duck eggs, I say that in my head or out loud. Before I just set that intention. I never get eggshells in my food. And since I started reincorporating that a week ago, I haven't got a single eggshell in my food once. And like, mind you, it was almost every single time I cracked the egg before. So it's just, again, one of those small little ways that I'm building proof. If you're someone who gets eggshells in your eggs sometimes when you're cracking them, like try this. It's a great way to, bring that in. Now, the trick here for any of these tricks or any little small manifestation type things like you're wanting to do within your life that, might make things just slightly easier. Like I hit every green light. The trick is you have to believe it. If you are sitting there doubting yourself saying, I do this, but no, it's probably not going to work because nothing works anyway. Well, that's the energy that is most prevalent. It's not going to work. But if you just allow yourself to sit with it, believe it fully, and then take the action before you think about it, a lot of times it will turn out better than you expect. Now, you might not get it perfect every single time. Even though I do a lot of these things on the very regular basis, and 98% of the time, 99% of the time, I have success when I do these things, there are still the little times where it doesn't work. And I let that be. Sometimes we don't get the manifestation because there's something better, something different, or it's protecting ourselves in some way, shape, or form. Now, this last one, I think it's most likely going to be the last one, is very, very exciting. It's, I think, probably the first time I have actually done this one. And I found a scratcher, scratch ticket on the ground that had just kind of been left there when I was out walking. And I've been practicing one of my manifestations. I am an irresistible magnet for great abundance. All that belongs to me by my divine right comes to me now, or variations of that, right? And we were walking in town, and I was just thinking this, and I had the thought, like, Money is literally always finding me. There's always opportunities. And then I spot the scratcher on the ground. And I waited until I got home to check it, and it had 20 bucks on it. And I was really, really excited. I've been that's one thing I've actually been wanting to do, is get like, a free lottery ticket scratcher with free money on it. But to go from finding one on the ground that actually has, like, that has nothing, to finding one with $1 million, my brain sees that as a big leap, a big jump, even though it's all energy. If I can win $20, I can win $1 million just as easily, theoretically, energetically. You know what I mean? So I was like, what? It's low pressure. Like, I would be happy if I won a couple bucks. I would be happy if this paid for the scratcher. Like, I like the fact that abundance is always coming to me. Every time I spend money, money's coming back. So when I found this, like, I was really, really excited. It's back to one of those, what's meant for, like, what you want is meant for you. If there's a reason that you're thinking it, chances are there's a reason that thought is there. And for me, the finding a scratcher with money on it has always been a thought in my head, like, since I was a little kid. And I was like, well, like, why, if that thought has always been there, why wouldn't it be a correct thought? I'm going to stop denying that that thought could be true, because why couldn't it? Like, the universe is always finding me free things, free money, free, like, just abundance showing up in so many different ways in my life. And so letting go of that need to control the outcome was very, very helpful. So I hope you try this. If you're trying any small little manifestations, let me know what it is. It's really just about changing your external reality. The more proof that you can build, that you can manifest, that you do have these powers, that you are fully capable, the more proof you build, the easier it is to believe in yourself. And, like, I would love to come out of the gate and believe in myself fully that I could win $2 million if I go buy a scratcher right now. You know what I mean? Or a lottery ticket. But, I've had so much doubt in my life that a lot of times the doubt feels heavier than, the odds of success. And this is shifting. I see more and more success, and I feel that it feels easier, it feels lighter, but it comes from continuously showing myself proof. Sometimes I say, hey, like, I'm struggling right now and I'm feeling like it's not going to work because nothing ever works. Like, can you please show me some proof? I ask my guides all the time. And then I get all these flashes in my head that pop up being like, of course there's proof. Like, you literally had a recruiter reach out to you out of nowhere to bring you across the country fully covered with a job that's double your pay. That is a manifestation in action, which was 2 months after the manifestation spell that brought in that job, by the way. I should talk about that in a different video. Anyways, but that was an example. The time I left my home with about $100 in my wallet, I had to get across the country. I was being reimbursed for that move. I didn't have the money to move when I left. I didn't have the money to make it all the way across the country, and yet I did, with a little extra to spare, and I didn't have to worry. It's just proof over and over and over again that the universe is always answering. It's always listening. It's always matching my energy. Just depends what energy I put out. The proof is there. The proof is that I've already done this so many times, in big ways and little ways, intentionally and unintentionally, in positive ways and in negative ways. I see the proof everywhere. The more I ask for it, the more I look for it, the more I see it, the more I notice it, the more I understand how it works. And that's, I guess, the thing that I want to put out. Like, when you're building this proof, when you're trying to bring things in, you have to have that faith in yourself. You have to have that belief. But when life has taught you that you can't have faith in yourself or believe in yourself, that can be difficult. So we start in small ways. We start in ways that, don't carry as, as high of a contrast, I guess. There's less wiggle room for your mind to say, no, that is absolutely impossible. It cannot happen. Because, yeah, I believe I could go find a quarter on the ground. I find quarters on the ground all the time, but I don't find $100 bills all the time. But the energetics, like the theory behind it, the energy behind it, it's the exact same for $100 versus a quarter. The only difference is how much you believe it can happen. Well, maybe not the only difference, but the biggest difference. And one more thing. If you're sitting here thinking, like, there's not enough, I can't do this, this isn't going to work. There's one thing I heard the other day. A lot of times, we have this belief that there's not enough money. There's so many people who already go without, there's not enough for me, there's not enough slice of the pie. But if we were to put that in a different perspective, if you were to look around and see healthy people while you were physically feeling sick, would you look around and say there's too many healthy people? Like, there's not enough health for me. I have to stay sick because there's no health available. Like, it's all taken. That doesn't really make sense, right? So why should that make sense for money? I know that can seem contradictory, and we live in a world that doesn't believe that, and it isn't always that easy. But I don't know. My proof is that anytime I really need something, anytime that I am struggling, anytime I don't know how I'm going to make it through, I always wind up making it through. I always make it to the other end. Whether I stress and freak out and get anxious and spiral or not, I always make it through. And if I always make it through, why would I make it more difficult for myself? And that's how I'm trying to live my life. That's how I'm trying to build my life, because I don't want to be a stressy little goblin all my life. I like being happy. I like feeling at peace and at ease and being able to sit outside and just not have to worry. Not have to worry about ordering pizza or, whether I can afford my groceries. And that is what I'm bringing in. I don't worry about those things anymore. I know the universe will provide. And the proof is the things that I do every day, the things that I'm building every day. The fact that I haven't had to work a traditional job in over a year and a half because I have been supported for. I got an entrepreneur grant that supplied me with a base stable income for 11 months so I could focus on building this channel, building my art business, finding out what it was I needed to do to find myself and help people. Anyways, I really hope this helped. If you are going to try out one little tiny small manifestation trick, like, let me know. It's green lights, amazing parking spaces, the elevator is always on the right floor every time you go in. Just something small, something that will make your life a little easier, but it's not the end of the world if it doesn't work out. And it's that not being tied to the outcome that is really going to make a difference. Also, my neighbor just let out her ducks. I don't know if they're coming through on the microphone, but I really hope you can hear them because they are adorable and they make me so happy. Anyways, let me know in the comments if you're going to try this. If you did and it worked, like, save this. Let me know, please. I really, the information I'm sharing, I want it to help people. And I'm only going to know if it helps people if people let me know if it helps them. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, I hope you will subscribe and check out some of my others. Thank you for being here. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will catch you in the next one.